lovely trade today. So basically, was sitting around doing nothing when I noticed that sterling was up a bit. Now, Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, was about to speak. And sterling jumped up. Now, sterling's been kind of in a downtrend for quite a bit. And post-Brexit, it's fallen more. Actually, on the day of the night of the Brexit vote, it actually shot up to 150, because it looked like at that stage, it looked like it was going to be a Remain vote. So there was a lot of worry that they might leave, but if they remained, the markets were very happy. But then that rapidly turned around. In short, this is a bear market. The trend is down. So that's basically my knowledge of the subject. And I hadn't expected to do a trade. So this is the standard setup. We've got the RSI, and I've got 3 moving averages. So the blue is the 10. I'll end up saying 10-day moving average, but it's not a daily chart. It's just the 15-minute one. So this is the 10. The brown is 20, and the golden yellowy, that's 50. So that's the most long-term one. Now, it had gone past all of them. Normally, well, I suppose here it seems to be mixed, but normally, in the downtrend, it'll remain below the blue one, the short-term one, and once in a while it'll kind of jump past the blue, and somewhere between the brown and the blue it'll return back in the direction it was going. So in this case, I'd expect it to keep falling. So the idea there being that if I get the opportunity to see the price somewhere between the blue and the brown, that's a good entry price. Well, that's a good entry point. That's a price where I could short it, kind of, because I expect the trend will keep going down, and it's unlikely to go past the brown. So that should contain it, and I expect it'll, easily go back below the blue, and in fact go further. The RSI here would also be kind of low, but being in a downtrend, it's actually going to be unable to go past 50, I'd guess, and it would probably go down to 30. So here it's actually 25. When the RSI fell as low as 25. Now, given that's the case, how come the RSI or the price was so high? How come the price had actually gone above even the 50-day or 50 unit? since again this is the 15-minute chart. So that looked like a good opportunity to short. Wrong direction. Boom. So there it was. Okay, there were reasons to short since it was above the golden line. It's a downtrend, so the natural direction is to keep falling. So basically short it around about there, maybe have a stop loss above the recent high. And I'd expect it to maybe fall back to the recent low. So, that gives you want to have a good risk reward ratio. So if you short here, you kind of go, okay, I can reasonably expect that it might continue down to here. So how much is that? That's a profit of 50, and the stop loss here would be 30, something like that. So you basically have that 2-to-1 ratio, which makes it a reasonable bet. So it actually, now I had left the trade open. I didn't put a limit order here because I had been looking at sterling, and I'd heard even on CNBC when someone was saying, oh, I think it could fall to 120. So I had looked before, and actually sterling had fallen to even 106, something like 30 years ago. Like, I don't know what the history was when that happened, but I know mentally, or I have it marked, that there was a 106 low. So in a way, the market would kind of want to test that level again. So I felt that there was a good way that sterling could fall. So I didn't want to limit myself to just putting a limit order there and just bank €50 when, in a way, I just want to hold on to that short as long as I can. What happened then? So now, I was saying, I want to hold on to it as long as I can. But the attraction of selling here, basically, if the price falls very rapidly and there's a gap between where the price is now and these moving averages, it'll take a little while for these moving averages to catch up. So looking at this, I was kind of going, the price is gonna want to retest. It's gonna want to at least maybe do some kind of 50% retracement move. So 132 looked like a potential target. If that's the case, then I'm going to lose, if I cash out now, I can get back in again. Again, this downward move, to my mind, I don't see that as being a one afternoon or one day event. If it's going to fall to 120, if it's going to fall to 106, that's going to be a nice prolonged move. So there'll be many opportunities to short when the price overshoots on the upside, that kind of thing. So we'll just fast forward a bit. So what happened here is, if the price falls very rapidly, the price can go back up and test the blue line, or if it just kind of hangs around, these can catch up with it. So it's like the RSI will fall, when the price fell, but if the price just hangs around, then the spring can uncoil. The RSI can just relax and recover and head back towards 40 or 50. Now, when something's in a downtrend, it's gonna find it hard for the RSI to head above 50. So I'd expect it's gonna hang around a bit, but struggle to go up. So here we can see it tried to, no, it's below the blue, but it's mainly just hanging around. Now, I would guess at the time of recording, it's not going to make a significant breakout move overnight, because the biggest foreign exchange market in the world is the UK one. I mean, that's where all the big banks, the major players are. So, the other guys are going to hang around, and the significant move is going to happen when the UK markets are open. So I'd expect the price action should kind of hang around, basically waiting. And we can see here it's kind of maybe going to range trade between this high, so about 131.80, and that low about 131. I'll keep going, and that's what it did. It's been basically passing time. Now we've waited long enough that the brown line has also come down, and even the gold one. So in another maybe hour or two, the orange line or the golden line will have basically met up with the other moving averages. Then I'd expect what'll happen is, when the UK markets open tomorrow morning, of course the FX markets are running 24 hours a day, but around 7-8 in the morning, at that stage sterling should make a little push up. It'll try and test 131.80, something like that, and then it'll continue the down move. That would be just standard, regular market maneuvers. Just the way it's the way of the world. No, so we'll see what happens. Basically, the trend is down, and we use the rules that we've discussed previously in videos. So just using these moving averages, the RSI, and just having some patience and discipline. So, not chasing a trade, but waiting for the opportunity to appear. Fingers crossed.